All right, so here's just a little video about some neck exercises and corrective motions that you can do. I have a few clients that have had some pretty tight and both tight neck and shoulder areas where it's just really difficult for them to move their neck, or when they do any upper body exercises, they really start feeling this like right up here in the traps, kind of along the scalenes in here on the sides and in front of the neck. And so if you have some of these issues similar to that, I'm going to show you a few different exercises today that should help kind of alleviate some of those things. So one of the first things to do is just kind of check and assess some of your ranges of motion in your head and neck. So a couple of the first things to do is just stand like this. You can stand in front of a mirror, just do it, at your desk, but just try to rotate your head all the way to the left and then slowly all the way back to the right. Now for me personally, when I go to the left, it just feels a little tighter like in my neck. So I can't quite get to this full range as easily as I can go to the right. So looking over my right shoulder is pretty easy. Left shoulder, it gets pretty tight, just in the back of my neck. So once you notice, or if you notice that, what I'd like you to do is actually turn your head in the direction that feels the tightest, and then you're just gonna do a slight isometric. So for me, going this way was the tightest, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hand, and I'm just gonna use that kind of like as a brick wall. I'm just gonna rotate my head, and I'm trying to spin my head to the left. So when I do this, I'm gently contracting some of my right trap muscles, and I'm gently contracting this right side SCM muscle. Those two muscles over here work to kind of rotate the head to that left side. So again, I'm not side bending, I'm just trying to rotate my head this way. So when I do this, I'm just trying to flex kind of this muscle here and this muscle back here while I do that left rotation, and then I relax. So for this one, you're just gonna do this 6 times, and you're gonna hold each one for about 6 seconds each, okay? So I've done that about 4 times, this will be number 5. And again, holding each one for about 6 seconds, then relaxing, and this will be number 6. So again, just that slight rotation, trying to turn my head into my hand that's stable, and that's it, okay? So that's exercise number 1, is just trying to do an isometric into the range that you need or want to be able to go. So I'll kind of recheck my range. Again, that was my good side. That side does feel a little easier to kind of rotate in that direction, okay? So number 2 is just taking a look at the side bend motion of your head. So again, very gently, just trying to kind of tip your head to one side, just bringing your ear close to that shoulder, and then coming back up, and then trying to tip your head the other way. So again, on this one, you can pretty well see this. I can't tip my head as easy to the left. Like look at the distance between my ear and my shoulder, versus this side, you can get that ear a lot lower to that shoulder. So on this one, I'm gonna try to do a side bend to the left in an isometric. So again, I tip my head to the side, and then I'm trying to tip my head into my hand, and this time I'm trying to contract these left side neck muscles, and then back. And again, I'm not pressing really hard. It's only like maybe 20% of what I could do at a maximum. So again, 20% out of your total is pretty light. So again, all you're trying to do is just flex that muscle for 6 seconds, and then relax. So that's 3 of those. We're gonna do 3 more. And again, real light on this. You shouldn't feel like a major stretch. You shouldn't feel any pain or any major tightness as you do this. You're just trying to gently flex those muscles. Okay, and same thing. This is number 5. Okay, and then 1 more. And relax. Okay, so that was 6 sets of 6, just trying to do that to the side that feels the tightest. So maybe yours is the right side versus the left, but just we're gonna recheck that range again. So again, this was my good side. I bring my head that way, pretty close to my shoulder. This side, a little bit better. So it's gotten down a little further. It was kind of like up here to begin with. Now it's a little closer to the side of my shoulder. So again, not a huge improvement, but at least a little bit, okay? So those are just a couple for your neck muscles in isometrics. Again, the first one was just doing the rotation. Second one was just doing that side bend. Okay, the next one is more of a mobility movement pattern. So this one, all I want you to do is you're just gonna try to move your chin forward and backward, okay? So from here, it's best to kind of see this from a side view, but I'm just trying to reach my head forward and then pull it straight back. So when I reach forward, I'm really trying to kind of pull again with some of these neck muscles that do this action. Same thing as I pull back into my neck. So the main muscles I'm really trying to focus on here are these big muscles right here, okay? So this one kind of helps rotate your head, but it also pulls your head forward a little bit. The same on this side, okay? So we're trying to feel these muscles that are right here in front. Because a lot of times when people have really tight shoulders, it's because their traps are tight, but they're not engaging some of these front neck muscles, okay? So on this one, all we're doing is just trying to slide the head forward and back. So again, I'm just kind of pushing it forward, and then just really trying to pull it back, and then pushing it forward, and then pulling it back. Now when I pull it back, if you notice, kind of my chest kind of lifts up, and it's as if I'm trying to give myself a double chin, but that's what we're trying to do. Just reach forward, and then just kind of retract and pull back, okay? So we're gonna do this about 15 times. Call that one like number 8. But again, just that reach forward, and that pull back. And then reach forward, and that pull back. And again, it's that pull back where you should feel this muscle right here kind of lifting that chest up. Because as your head goes backwards, it kind of pulls on your collarbone to come back up. So just kind of one set of 15 of those kind of forward and back neck motions, okay? The next mobility one that we're gonna do is just with your arms out like this. So in this position, you can kind of see I'm gonna have one palm facing up and one palm kind of facing down or even kind of twisted back. So this I just call the ring the dish rag motion. So all you're trying to do is pivot and then pivot back again. Now when you do this, you might feel something up in the neck muscles here. And where I'd really like you to feel this are actually muscles that are under your armpit, and then the muscles that are actually kind of right between your shoulder blades here doing most of that work. If you start really getting fatigued on your traps, you probably stop and just shorten this repetition range out. So again, one palm up, kind of one palm twisted down and out. And again, I'm just trying to roll my shoulders back and forth. Okay, so again, we'll do about 15 of these each direction. But again, I'm just really trying to maximize like how much rotation can I get out of my shoulder joint. Okay, so again, one palm up, one palm down, but just trying to keep the elbows straight. Just kind of pivot. So kind of side view, have this shoulder, kind of see that going forward and back. Just trying to flip that back and forth, okay? All right, and then the next one we're gonna do is more for the chest and the muscles between your shoulder blades again. So all I want you to do on this one, and I call these the bear hugs, is you're just trying to open your whole chest up. So when you do this, you kind of pull that head back, and you open up and kind of pull that, chest out wide, okay? Now when you're doing this, you should feel the muscles kind of, again, right here between the shoulder blades. These muscles work to kind of pull those shoulder blades together on both sides. I'm just showing you with one arm, kind of pointing with this hand, but you should kind of feel those muscles squeezing. You should not feel these up here, okay? So I squeeze those muscles in my mid-back together like this, and now I squeeze my chest muscles as I come forward like that. I kind of cross my arms down in front. So again, here's a side view of kind of squeezing backwards, lifting that chest up. Then I kind of come forward, and now I squeeze the chest muscles. So it's again, those mid-back, kind of upper back muscles, and then now my chest muscles. So you just really want to feel like you're getting squeeze here, and then squeeze in those upper back muscles. And again, about 15 repetitions of those, just trying to open up, and then kind of close down. But when you close down, squeeze those chest muscles. It's really important. A lot of times people disengage their pec muscles, and it causes more tension and tightness up along the shoulder and up into the neck there. Okay, so really trying to kind of just actively flex those chest muscles, okay? All right, the next one we're gonna do is actually what I call the swimmer motion. So for this one, we're trying to kind of create an X pattern of muscle engagement between the back muscles, okay? So you have your lats, which are kind of down low on both sides, like here, if you were seeing my back. And then you also have these muscles that are here that are attached kind of to the back bottom side of your shoulder blade. So what we're trying to do is engage kind of a shoulder blade muscle all the way down to the opposite lat on one side. And then we're gonna engage one other shoulder blade muscle to the opposite lat on the other side. So you can kind of imagine this X pattern as you're doing this next swimmer exercise. So for this one, I'm gonna push one arm behind me, below, and then one arm up above me like this. And then I'm just gonna switch. So again, when you do this, I don't want you to be using a lot of traps on this. I want you to, again, be using that kind of crisscross muscle. So when this arm goes up, I kind of feel this shoulder blade getting kind of pulled down and across. But as my left arm goes backward, I kind of feel this lat muscle. So I'm feeling this lat with kind of this right shoulder blade muscle when I go like this. And I just feel that opposite X pattern when I go this way. So again, I'm really trying to work kind of those back muscles to engage my shoulder blades as I do this kind of swim backstroke motion. And again, about 15 on each arm, but really see if you can flex those muscles kind of in your mid back and your upper back, not just burning out your shoulders and arms, okay? All right, and then the next one we're gonna do is actually more just for your chest. So this one I just call the prayer push. So you just kind of put your hands together like this, just like you're going to say a prayer. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to push your palms together. But when you push your palms into each other this way, you should feel both chest muscles working to squeeze those in. So here I'm just trying to squeeze like this. And when I do this, I can easily feel my left chest and my right chest kind of flex. So you're just trying to hold that for 6 seconds and repeat it for 6 sets. Now there's a few things you can do if you don't immediately feel those chest muscles. Number one is maybe offset your hands just a little bit. Like this way, I actually feel more intensity on this pec. And if I go this way, I feel a little bit more intensity on this one. So if you can't get one or both pecs to work, try maybe shifting your hands either left or right just a little bit, okay? The next thing you can do is you should be able to feel chest in 3 different positions. You should be able to feel it here, kind of in the center, where your hands are right about at chest level. You should still feel chest muscles squeezing your hands together. If you held your hands up here more at like head level and you still squeeze them in together, you should still feel chest maybe just a little bit higher up. And the same thing, even if you kind of put your hands down here, like more towards your belly button, and you squeeze the heels of your hands together, you should still feel pecs. So again, pecs, pecs, pecs. All 3 of those positions, you should still feel chest, okay? So just try to kind of modify that. And again, you can offset it either left or right if you're having trouble getting one of those muscles on, but all 3 of those positions, you should feel some of this huge muscle here in your pec. So anyway, those are just a few exercises you can do to kind of loosen up some of the neck muscles and tight shoulders, but those are just a few that should help, open up your internal and external rotators and start activating some of these larger muscles so some of these tight little ones can kind of settle down.